Hey kids, Miss Kulkarni here. In this video, let's talk about scientific method. So what exactly is a scientific method? This is a flow chart which explains how a scientific method works. Typically, we begin with observation. We observe something and we get interested. Then that leads to beginning question, why, how, and then we do some background research. After that, we do some hypothesis question, and then we plan our experiments. After the experiments, we are going to collect and analyze the data, and after that, the hypothesis either gets supported or it gets refuted. If it's supported, it's good for us. If it's refuted, we go back and we think and we try again, build a new hypothesis. Now let's find out some more details about the process. So here it is, observations. What are those? A scientist will actually be making constantly some observations in the world around them, and that will be always something fascinating discoveries. Then the beginning questions, the scientist will come up with a beginning question which will be scientific about a process or about a system. Now there are certain rules for having a question as good question. A question must be testable. We should be able to perform the experiment to prove it or disprove it. Also, it needs to have two different variables, independent and dependent variable, and we'll talk about the variables in our next video. Research. There is always some background research which every scientist needs to go through, whether somebody has worked on this before, were they successful, what were the discovery, and that may lead to design a proper experiment. Moving on, hypothesis. At this point, scientist decides to come up with a hypothesis. A hypothesis has to be again a valid hypothesis. How do we know that hypothesis is a valid hypothesis? Typically, if it consists of if, then, pretty sure it will be a valid hypothesis. Also, there are some conditional words we can use, and those could be may or could be might. The bottom line is a hypothesis must be testable. Then the experiment, actual process. Designing the process takes a couple of steps, and the scientist has to take proper measures and then collect the data in order for supporting or refuting the hypothesis. Once the experiment is complete, scientist moves towards data collection. The data collection could be two different types. One could be qualitative. It is based upon description, or maybe you can say appearance. For example, color, clarity, texture, is it rough, is it smooth? Those kind of things go under qualitative observation. Quantitative is based upon numbers. So examples for that are mass, volume, length, and many more. So basically what we learn from this video is scientific method is a cycle. It begins with observations and then it ends up with some results, and results may end up going back and forth through hypothesis again. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in next video. Until then, bye-bye.